You can't do this on your own. Dating, courtship, and marriage are powerful social technologies that enable us to have families and to continue our species, but also to reach maximum potential for happiness. But all of these technologies rely on us being part of a group. They don't work on their own. You can't go through dating, courtship, and marriage and having a family if you're isolated. There's a few reasons for that. Of course, there's the historical reason. Throughout the vast majority of human history, we've always operated in small groups. Whether it be at the tribal or village level, there's always been someone there to have our back, to help us to make sure we don't make bad decisions, to tell us when we're becoming odd or eccentric, and to help prevent us from making commitments which are harmful to us. Because we've had that for so long in our history, and it's only been very recently that we've lost that. We've lost our religious supports, our social supports, our family supports, all of these things which helped society to stay together and help people to make good decisions. We need to create something to take its place. Now, the thought of being alone might be very attractive to a lot of people. You know, I can solve this problem on my own. I can find a mate. Just read some articles. I'll learn a few things, and bam, I'll have whatever I need, and I'll date somebody. Well, how's that working out for you so far? You know, I either see that most people have a string of failed, tragic, horrible romances, or they aren't dating anyone and never are dating anyone for very long, and they're not able to get into a relationship. And if this is the case, and you're isolated, it is probably your isolation that's preventing you from being successful in romance. Another reason that we need to have friends around us when we are trying to date or especially trying to get married is that we need positive peer pressure. We need it. We need someone there to push us to continue and advance towards our goal. A big part of the wolf pack concept that we're using here at SMV4K, we're getting people into groups of, I'd say 3 or 4 to up to 5 or 6 people in a group, is to help have that positive peer pressure. So in order to achieve your goal of getting married, you have to make regular weekly steps. I would even say daily steps, but we can put that down into weekly goals. Now, if you don't have anyone to share what you're doing with, to share your progress with, to kind of measure up whether you're being realistic in your goals, you will tend to do nothing. I want you to think about what you've done in the last week and in the last month. I mean, really done to achieve your goal of getting married. If you want to get married and you're putting, 2 hours a week in, it's just not going to happen. You know, if you think you can achieve your goal without putting in the work, without putting in the time, the effort, and the money, it's just not going to work. And when we're on our own, it's really easy to justify these things to ourselves, because we like to think that we're super rational, especially because, the groups that we're in, we think we're really rational and that we're making our decisions based on what's good for us. The reality is we're probably far more emotional and far more irrational than we actually recognize that we are. And then we use reason and evidence to justify our decisions. And this is very unhealthy. And this is what happens when you're alone, when you are cut off from good feedback, good criticism from friends, constructive criticism. You need to be in a wolf pack. Now, if you're listening to this and you're not part of SMV4K, you don't need to be joined with us. You don't need us to get a wolf pack. That's one way you could do it. You could join us and join a wolf pack, or form one with new members as they come in. But you could also start a wolf pack on your own. You won't get some of the benefits of being in our group, but you need something. You need to put yourself in a group of people where you share a mutual goal. That is getting everyone in the group to be married. That's the goal of the group. And not just married, but happily married, successfully married, solidly married, so it doesn't break up in a few years. And you need people to give you feedback on your progress towards that goal. How do you know you're making progress towards the goal if you're the only one that's tracking your progress and you're the only one that's giving yourself feedback? Human beings shouldn't be their own doctors. They shouldn't be their own lawyers. You shouldn't be your own therapist. Well, you're not also going to be able to be your own friend. You can't be your own friend. You need real human being friends to talk to. Facebook friends don't count. And joining a group like SMV4K without getting that social component is not particularly useful. You know, you're going to find that after a while you're not really getting value from the information you're taking in. So you may know what you need to do, but actually applying it requires that social pressure. It's nothing wrong with you. You're not in some way defective. We all need positive peer pressure. We all need it. I get positive peer pressure from you guys. So my viewers, for example, they tell me, oh, such and such a thing was not useful for me, but this was useful for me. I applied this advice, it didn't work. And I applied this advice, it did work. And we're reconstructing that technology, that social technology that went into courtship and dating. So we're getting information. But to apply that in actual dating for each one of you, you need friends. You need someone that you can trust to tell you when you're making a terrible decision, to protect you. It's right, your friends protect you. No matter how strong you think you are, you're not as strong as two other people. No matter how much you think you are in control of yourself, if you are alone, you're vulnerable. There are predatory men and women out there who will take advantage of you as long as you are alone. They will tell you they love you, they will wrap you up in around their finger, and they'll get you to marry them, and they will take you for everything you've got, mentally, emotionally, physically, and materially. And friends, good friends that you trust, are the only protection you have against that. You need people in your life that will tell you, no, that's a bad idea, and that you love enough to respect their opinion. You know, if you have a friend, you don't respect their opinion, it's not going to help much when they give you opinion. Now, getting that social circle is not very easy for a lot of people. If you're very introverted, you might think that that means you're never going to have friends, but that's not true. A lot of people associate extroverted has lots of friends, introverted has no friends. And this couldn't be farther from the truth. What's more likely is that an extroverted person can meet new people very easily. Because of that, an extroverted person does not have the motivation necessarily to get deeper friendships. And it's the deep friendships that give you true satisfaction, not the fact that you maybe have 100 or 200 people that you see occasionally and you call them friends, but it's the 2 or 3 or 4 people that you would share anything in your life with, that you would help out no matter what and would help you no matter what. That's your support network. You need those kind of people. And actually, if you're introverted, even though it's harder to meet people, it's much easier for you to get a deep relationship with them, because between meeting a new person and working out your problems with a friend, because you always have problems with friends, there's always some friction. If you don't work that problem out with your friend, you're going to have to go meet someone, which for you is just about torture. So you're more likely then to get these deep friendships than the extrovert. I'm an extrovert, and it's easy for me to make new friends. I have to actually make a focus and really plan out how I will deepen friendships with the selected few people that I really like. And if you are introverted, you have to play to your strength, and your strengths are less friends but deeper. As I said earlier, you can't do this on your own. You can't achieve your romantic goals without a social support network. That means friends. That means close friends, a small group that you can trust to give you honest feedback about what you're doing, and that you in turn will give honest feedback too. Now, I suggest having a look at SMV4K's articles on wolf packs. They're free to the public, so if you're not part of the group, you can still read them. And join a wolf pack. Create a wolf pack. If you want to join SMV4K to get more support in that, go ahead. You need someone. You don't need necessarily us, but you need someone in your life. And I wish you all the best of luck on achieving your goals, and especially on developing your social support network.